Technology. Great sometimes. For me today, it's not so great. So, we're back. Chase Boys Podcast, episode 206. We're in May. Tomorrow, when you hear this, it's Cinco de Mayo. So enjoy a beverage responsibly. I appreciate you guys for that. Gentlemen, how you guys been? You going to participate in some Cinco de Mayo tomorrow? What's going on? Are we too old for that now?
I'm not.
You're not too old, or you're not participating?
Fair question. No, I just have, dad stuff to do.
Okay.
So, rain check.
It's nice that it falls on a Taco Tuesday, though.
There you go.
So
it's true.
You got double down on that.
I like that. So that doesn't mean you're getting tacos, or you're just saying that just for the aesthetic?
I think yeah.
All right.
Grab some Pacificos. Tecates. Yeah. Go all out.
All right.
Tecate Negro, though. Yeah, that's gotta
Modelo.
be that. Modelo, yeah. But they have Tecate Negro too, don't they?
I don't know.
I think they do. I'll double check while we're doing this. But anyway, how you guys been?
I think you got enough going on over there, Hayes.
Well, I
think Branden can check it out on his own.
It's fine. I got it.
So yeah, how are you, Hayes? How's it going? How's your day going? Fill the listeners
in. It was
in.
well until I tried to set this up. Bluetooth mouse didn't want to work for whatever reason. Everything else is fine, apparently. But life is good, I guess.
I wish we were recording the 10 minutes or so before the podcast of
like 15.
Was it? Yeah, just trying to connect. Yeah, that was
wasn't
gold.
Great.
But here we are.
Wasn't great.
We made it.
We did somehow, some way. Playoff time, gentlemen. Have either of you been watching?
I've watched almost every Knick game and some other random games, but not as many as I'd like. But it's been a wacky first round. It's been pretty unpredictable, and it's awesome. Parody back.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I've been keeping up with it, but I haven't watched any games in real time. So
this will be a great segment.
Yeah, Hayes, why don't you tell us?
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
So this is the first time this year I've really watched basketball outside of March Madness, and it was to hell with you, Outlook. It is March Madness. March Madness was great. This first round of the NBA was great. Multiple games or a series that should have been over earlier that were not. Meaning that the Pistons were down 3-1 in a series to the Magic and pulled it out. They were the number one seed. They should have. Literally the last game 6, the Magic were up by, I think, like 20, 30 points.
Yeah, it was like 21 or something crazy.
By halftime. And the Pistons pulled that absolutely out. Cade Cunningham is an absolute problem. I would put more respect on Tobias Harris' name, but I've watched what he's done many a times.
It's fine. We've all been burned by Tobias Harris in one
for sure.
lifetime or another.
But he did well. He's been doing well for the Pistons, so that's been great. Shout out to my now former neighbor that just moved out. He told me that the Nuggets were going to win, and I laughed at him and told him that they weren't. And the Wolves, T-Wolves, did what they had to do without the Ant-Man, who was apparently going to be playing the first game. Spurs are on a tear. They look like they are going to represent the West, but I know that series, if we get what we want, Oklahoma City Thunder and the Spurs is what I'm looking forward to the most. The Lakers have been doing extremely well as well, too. And your guys, your Knicks. Your Knicks look really, really good. That last game, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure I was gaming. And I had the TV on to my right. And I looked down at the score, and it was close. And then I looked back down at it again, and I said, what happened? And the Knicks absolutely stomped them out. And now they get to play the Sixers, who are on a hot streak as well, who got rid of the Celtics. which was very interesting to see that happen as well too. So this first round was very, very fun, but now we have the second round matchups coming up. Speaking of the Knicks and the Sixers, they playing tonight when we're recording, which is game one, which will be in New York. Then we have also the Pistons versus the Cavs, which play today when you guys are hearing the recording in Cinco de Mayo. So hopefully you grab a nice cerveza while you're watching this and some good food for that. You also will have the Thunder and Lakers, but also today when we're recording, we have the Spurs and the T-Wolves. So these series, very, very good. Very, very happy to see what's going on here. I didn't touch the notes to see what you guys wanted to say about these notes or anything from there. If you've seen, well, Sam, I'll ask you, since you said you've watched most of the Knicks games, how are you feeling about the Knicks at this point in time?
I feel good knowing that how the series ended. I mean, I say the Knicks were down 2-1 in some games that should have just closed out. I think two of those first two wins was it by a point or two? Like it was pretty close. So just the way that they ended the series, and including the as you mentioned, was it game 6 there? Just what was it, like 50-point win or something insane like that? So I feel pretty good. But it's just playoff time. Good teams put it together, and the teams, the underdogs, usually run out of steam, and we saw it with the Magic. There's some other, or not necessarily Magic. I mean, brought it to a game 7, but Hawks were done pretty early. I mean, even the Raptors gave the Cavs, tough series.
The game yesterday, it was a really good game until it wasn't.
Yeah.
First half it was tied, and then going into the second half, Spider came out, Donovan Mitchell, for those that don't know, came out absolutely, it was scorched earth from that point in time. But also shout out to two former Nets, Mr. Allen. There's a little center out there, and by little I mean absolutely ginormous center. That had a double almost. He collected every single board, and Kenny Atkinson, who I love and still wish he was the Nets coach. But I hate seeing James Harden win, but it's always nice to see Donovan Mitchell win. So it was really, really good though. Really, really good.
Yeah, I mean it's been a great first round, as we've mentioned. Only the Thunder swept, a lot 3 game 7s. I think the Lakers took care of the Rockets without Luka. Looked great. Again, big series win with the T-Wolves. I don't know if it was as much the Nuggets falling apart, but still, the T-Wolves are hobbling all over the place too. I mean, without Ant and some other guys there too. So yeah, no, it's been fun, and every one of these matchups is, you could go on with the storylines here. So it'll be a fun couple weeks to watch this series or round, if you will. But
for those listening, I'm going to start sending Branden illegal links so he can watch the games. I know he can watch them at home, but I think this is the way I can get him to watch it. I'm going to just spam him the illegal links, and then hopefully that forces him to watch it.
There you go.
Either that, or he's just going to get some weird ads. So just one of the two, and both are equally as satisfying. So
I'll be watching the Knicks for sure.
Good.
How about our Celtics, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the 76ers for taking care of the Celtics, because I was worried.
Yeah. Blown a 3-1 lead.
I think it didn't help when Jason Tatum was out for a particular, I think it was the last game he was out for.
Yeah, he missed the last game, which we know he's got to be hurt in there.
Yeah, but it's going to be the talk. I haven't watched any sports networks stuff, and I'm sure they're going to be laying into him about how could you miss this? So and so wouldn't have missed this game. Like, this guy also just came back.
No, I don't.
From an injury. Somebody's going to do it.
No, of course.
Some imbecile's going to do it. But
any rational sports
right.
fan, it's like he,
correct.
Only played 20 something games this year. He looked phenomenal doing it.
Correct.
And came back from I mean, Halliburton, I know Halliburton got hurt in the finals, but I don't think he's close to coming back. So,
no.
Yeah, no, just a hell of a run there. And this was a year where the Celtics weren't supposed to do anything. And, they were the number 2 seed. And again, got Tatum back when they needed to, but just couldn't get it done there.
Championship caliber team. I mean, they
of course.
When Tatum's healthy again, I mean, they will be around again. But this is why I kept saying for a while, this is the year for the Knicks to get to the finals as far as they possibly 100%. Can. Like this is the year to do it. Not saying that the number 1 seed's still there, and the Pistons are absolutely not a pushover.
They've played the Knicks tough all year too. It has not been easy. Yeah,
they've turned it up a notch too, and I think after that series of how they realize they can be down by that much, I think that should scare the rest of the East. That they were down almost out, and then they came back and ran off, 3 straight.
Cade top 5 player in the league right now. I mean,
easily.
You could say just based on the last couple months how he's played, he's not many better. So yeah, and they got a taste of it last year, and number 1 seed. They have depth. They're coached very well. I think JB Bickerstaff just got extended today, like moments ago, like like hour ago or so. So yeah, no, that definitely going to be tough. And on the flip there with the Magic, they make all of these moves. They're in the play-in again. They traded a fortune for Desmond Bane and got some other pieces in there and just can't get out of the first round again.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. Because I like that team. But coach fired. See what happens there.
They fired the Magic coach already?
Yeah, I think he got fired today at some point.
I'm sure they did. After blowing that, I'm sure they did. I was definitely wondering if that was going to happen. So that sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they fired him
at
this
what
morning.
Point? This is the. I think this is the battle that we'll always have as fans, right? And people that love sports. At what point do we point the finger at the players? Because the coach wasn't out there that gave up those leads, right? There's only so many timeouts that you can call. There's only so many things that you can do. The execution needs to be what needs to be. Paulo was out there balling, and he was playing one-on-one ball and had no support in multiple occasions. Yes, there was multiple people on the team that could have helped, but it just didn't happen. So at what point in time do you say it wasn't the coach, right? But again, we all know that the coach will always be the scapegoat. Like, it's the easiest way to point to somebody. You can't just fire a player. You can trade them, but you're not going to do that. So it's unfortunate. I don't think that's great, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it in baseball. There's been some manager firings. One, I don't think was really justified, even with the performance being bad, and Red Sox and Alex Cora there. But what does it do? Rob Thompson for the Phillies manager, that was just what does it do? Unless there is a major disconnect and things behind closed doors that we're not privy to yet.
Which I'm sure we will
you're going to fire the bench coach or the hitting coach because you're in a slump, and that's going to be the shot in the arm. I never quite understood. I understand it from you have to do something and the fans want answers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a win. In the Magic's case, they spent a lot of money, a lot of assets to get this team. It's not a great team, but it's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
If they haven't extended Paolo yet, I don't remember, but he's gonna get that money. It's a lot of freaking money.
He better.
So
is a problem.
we're fans, but you got to win. You got to win. The NBA is I'll do it myself league, unfortunately, as we've seen through the last couple of years. So yeah, that's playoff basketball though. So setting up to be a great round. Man, the Spurs are a problem too. I'm glad Wemby's okay. I know, Bacon, did you see that Wemby get that concussion? He slammed his head on the court. It was gross. It's real bad. But he's back. He's playing. And I think Ant's playing
hard.
Yeah. And I think Ant Edwards. So just continue my stream of consciousness here. He's good to play tonight. You may have mentioned that. But so looking forward to round 2.
Yeah. Let's get into some baseball here. I mean, we might as well start this off in an unfortunate way, especially being diehard Yankee fans on this podcast. We lost the great John Sterling. It is very unfortunate. He was the voice of, speaking for all of us, our childhood, as we watched the Yankees as we grew up. To hear the infamous calls, to hear that voice, we knew what it was. I've already seen tweets from Jeet. Are they considered to be tweets now? Whatever. We'll get to that.
Posts,
Who knows? Yeah, whatever. From Jeet talking about how he had the pleasure of having him call all of his games, and multiple, Yankee Hall of Famers from the time of what we grew up and saw, all the way until now. He did come back in a small capacity, correct? Right. I know he left and he retired and came back in a small capacity, right?
Yeah. At some point he was just doing home games. And then when he, quote, retired in the middle of the season, he came back last postseason.
Yeah.
To call the games. Or was it 2 years ago? I don't remember, but
I think it was like a year, 2 years
ago.
Recent.
And then
regardless, yeah.
And he was on the Fan, and he mentioned WFAN in New York, and he mentioned that he had some health things going on over the winter. So
very unfortunate. Prayers to his family, to his loved ones, and I'll say prayers to the fan base that grew up and watched and loved. And Branden shared with us such a moving video regarding to it will definitely pull at the heartstrings, for sure. If you do want to watch, it's on Yankee social media, for sure. But there's many pieces out there right now to read. I've only read a few, didn't have the time to do it. Also did not have the heart to read through all of that, but sending my love up. And gentlemen, I'll leave the floor to you.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, it's really like the voice that we grew up listening to, like on the radio. And
yes,
spoke to my dad today. He was, emotional about it as well. Just being in the car, either traveling someplace or just taking a drive, listening to the Yankee game on the radio, and it's John Sterling and Susan Waldman. And it had been that way for, well over 30 years. So definitely sad news, but what an icon, in the broadcasting, space that he is, and obviously going to be a part of, Yankee history forever. So just a quick stat here that I like to share, but he called over 5,000 consecutive Yankee games.
It's insane.
From 1989 through 2019. So just incredible. But, and he was 87, and it's definitely sad news that he passed, but what a life, right? And he did what he loved and what he grew up wanting to do, and lived out his dream. So it'll be interesting too. I'm going to tune into the game tonight and see how they honor him and celebrate his life and legacy. But yeah, definitely sad to hear this news this morning.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a polarizing voice. And, in the beginning, middle of his career, by the end, it was just endearing. Everyone loved John Sterling. And I get it, and all the silly nicknames and all that, but that was just kind of, that was him, and he just loved baseball. And Branden, you mentioned being in the car with your dad or just driving somewhere and listening. I mean, I spent over more than a decade in radio, and that, I mean, him, Michael Kay, Mike and the Mad Dog, like those, and local radio people here in the Hudson Valley is like what gravitated me to that. So definitely, it was hard watching some of that content today as I would just open up social media. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how they remember him. Michael Kay was his partner on radio forever. So that'll be interesting tonight, and I'm sure it won't be long before there's something in Monument Park for him.
For sure.
Don Shepard, Bob Shepard, Bob Shepard, has something up there. So I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Yeah, I mean, he's been the voice of our generation, and it's not often that the nation or just sports fans know what the radio announcer name for a team is, right?
Yes,
that's just an odd thing. Now, Branden and I are diehard baseball fans. We know a good number of them, but John Sterling was like, aside from Vin Scully, was like the first, right? Like you knew who, and it's a really cool thing because he was like ours. He was weird and but it was awesome. And the contrast with him and Susan Waldman, like it's just something you'd write up. But it worked and it was fun. And he'll definitely be missed for sure.
Yeah. Like you said, it might not be everyone's flavor, and yes, some of the calls were silly but it was, like you said, they just endeared himself to the fan base, and that's just what drew you in. And you could just tell just how passionate he was about the game, about the Yankees. And he did it his own way, and there's something to be said about that. And he made a name for himself. So I don't know about you guys. My personal favorite home run call is Burn Baby Burn. I think that might have been one of the first. An A-bomb by A-Rod, also one of my favorites. I don't know about you guys. Do you have a favorite John Sterling home run call?
I mean, I think I remember Bernie being like, that was the first one, or at least the first one maybe that got attention. But yeah, there's been so many, and some of the ones that are just odd are great too. What's the Stanton one? That one was weird.
Stantonian blast.
Yeah, but like what, it's fine. You're on the mark, Teixeira, like just silly little things. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was
Milky Cabrera, right? I think the milkman delivers. Yeah.
If Harrison was here, we'd have we'd have to
power
rank maybe next week.
Sure. Next time
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just kind of switching gears here to baseball, or I guess starting with we'll start with the positive news here, at least on the front. Being a little biased here, our Yankees are rolling right now.
Yeah, sure.
Pitching staff looks great. The bullpen's holding up for the most part, and the bats have woken up, and Judge and Rice it's early, and hopefully Ben Rice is okay. He's out today's game. He left yesterday's game after, not quite sure if there was a pickoff move at first and kind of got jammed. He was playing first base. Think that may be it. Again, Brenna, I may be wrong. I haven't really followed up, but
yeah,
him and Judge are recreating Maris and Mantle just to begin April here, going, with the amount of home runs they're hitting. It's been fun.
Yeah. They're saying it's day-to-day, a thumb contusion. He must have just hit him on the palm or the padding of the thumb there on that pickoff attempt. So hopefully nothing too serious and he just misses a game or two. But yeah, I mean, it seems like every game Rice hits one, then Judge hits one. So to your point, Sam, they're kind of recreating that Mantle Maris 61 season. Let's hope it turns out that way. But and the crazy thing is too, Judge hasn't even really gotten hot yet. He
sure hasn't.
So, but still, tied for the lead. Has been home runs. So yeah, so far so good. And we're getting, like I said, reinforcements with Cole and Rodon. I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving what the front office is doing in terms of optioning Volpe. I mean, I know
that's a huge move.
Sad day.
Send him to the moon.
No, but I think to your point, and Brendan, I know you're gonna dive into this. I think, but like what it doesn't say is what is so big about it, where it's kind of like, all right, you've been here for 3 years, you've underperformed, you've won a Gold Glove, and then you led the league in errors, blah blah blah. But like, we're not like vibes. It's vibes. The vibes are good.
Yeah. Go Taste.
Remember that time that I said that they should send Volpe down?
Yeah, sure.
Remember that time, and I said that he should stay there?
Which time?
Well, there's definitely multiple times. And I remember a time my friends tried to talk me off the ledge. One particular friend, his name starts with an S, that said, just give him a chance, and, that you can see it possibly happening. And I referenced, the guy from the Mets who I don't remember his name, but I just know the story. I know you both know his name because you're fucking nerds. But
true.
I'm just gonna sit here and rejoice that he is not joining back anytime soon, unless there is an injury. Because as Brendan was saying, and will continue to say, this move is the right move. You go with what is working. You don't just go and plug somebody in because they're the guy or that played there. Put who's there that's working. That's what you have. The system's for it, is call people up and down. I know you don't want to keep moving them up and down and deflate their ego or whatever the case may be. But you got to do what's right for the team. And at the end of the day, a business is a business, right? Because as we just talked about before, if not, it's your ass as the coach, right? Because you got to make the right move to go from there, which is why I'm very glad they brought the Martian back up. So very, very happy about that too. So
yeah, they're not acting like the Yankees of old. They brought up Elmer Rodriguez Cruz.
Yeah, totally.
He was lights out in AAA. Like, all right, let's give him a shot.
Yeah.
So typically, it's not your typical front office moves that we've seen over the past several years. Hayes, you mentioned, Martian Dominguez getting called up as well.
DFA'd Randall Grichuk,
he's like 2 weeks with the team.
Yeah. And these are like these are the things where like, why the old Yankees, and it's not the old Yankees.
Yes. The more recent, but old Yankees.
Yeah. You don't call up Elmer Rodriguez when Rodon's coming back, maybe this week, if not next week. But, you call him up, get his feet wet. If he bombs or just isn't ready, he goes back down. We don't have to worry about the first, jitters of your big league stint here.
Correct.
And if it works out and it turns into like a Cam Schlittler situation, you make it work. Optioning Luis Gil.
Yep.
Like that, like these are things that like, and I know we've all taken our turns bashing Cashman and Boone.
Sure have.
The Elmer Rodriguez trade to get him for Carlos Narvaez with the Red Sox. Now Narvaez turned out to be a pretty darn good catcher, but there's no room on the roster for him, or at least at the moment. So like you turn in something. These are the kind of things that, I know Stanton got hurt, and that's kind of let Dominguez, given him the opportunity, but he's batting cleanup tonight.
Yeah.
Like, and ditching the analytics. Sorry, dude, I'm running all over you.
No, go for it.
And, stop sitting Ben Rice against lefties. He can hit lefties.
Yes. Thank you.
Like, these are the things, like, it's kind of, it's crazy because these are the things everyone's been bitching about for so long, and it's like they're at least in this moment of time it's happening.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
I will be quiet. Brendan, go ahead.
No. All good. End rant, right? No, I mean, these are the moves that winning teams make, and I'm happy to finally see the Yankees start to make these types of moves and decisions, and it sends a message to the clubhouse and to the guys, like, you got to produce, or else,
and if you don't,
find someone who will.
Correct.
And that's how you get the best out of players too, and that's how you become a winning team. So all good stuff on the Yankee front for now, and like I said, we got reinforcements on the way. Spencer Jones, maybe, who knows, maybe he'll get a shot in the next few weeks or next couple months. So
he's on my team in the show, my road show. He's somehow, some way on the roster, and he's breaking. So
there you go.
I'm not against it. Random thing. Elmer's cousin was actually a jockey in the
Both
Derby.
two of them. Two
of them. That's true. That's
Yep.
true. Super dope for that. I love the fact that they gave him a chance. I also wish Boone would have pulled him when he saw what was happening a couple times, but that's a Boone type of thing that we've grown to know. But I thought the young man did well for what he had to do and start out. And again, it's just the fact of giving him an opportunity to get his feet wet. And that's big, right? Instead of wasting our talent, which we've done over years, right? Watch our guys just sit there and rot away in minor leagues when we can potentially see what their talent is and ship them off while they still have high stock. Like, let's do something, because that's where I'm at. Speaking of Spencer Jones, like, let's do something. Are we going to bring him up eventually, or are we going to move off of him? Like, right? Give Jason Dominguez a chance, like, because I don't see Grisham being out there next year, right? Like, let's be real about it. Mind you, Grisham is raking right now. I will give him that. He's doing his thing right now. But I still don't trust the inconsistency, and I also still don't like the money that we paid. Like, let Jason Dominguez do that. Give the space to, if we're going to move people around, like, what are we going to do with Rice? Like, Rice can catch, he can play first base, right? Belly can play first base. Like, let's move some things around. Bring Spencer Jones up, put him in left field. Do something from there. If we're trying to save Judge or do what we have to do, and even though he's playing great in the outfield, move him to DH, do stuff like that. Allow these guys to start moving around and giving that space. Again, I still feel, which is probably one of the best things I can say about the Yankees in a long time, we have so many options right now, and good options, not just bad options. It's like, just throw this person out here and make it work. We have good options finally, and we also have a rotation, right? The place we need the help at is, as we know, is the bullpen, but that seems like it's starting to shore up, and I'm very, very happy. I will shout out to my father. I spoke to him about it today, and he said, man, he said, our Yankees are doing good. And I said, yeah. He's like, I don't know anybody on the team but Judge. He said, but they look good. I was like, Dad, you know more than that. But I was like, but I get what you're saying. And I was like, but that's a good thing to hear. Even my father saying that he doesn't know these younger players, but seeing how good they're doing, and players from different teams that we've picked up and brought over. I was talking to Branden the other day, Sam, about Ryan Weathers and seeing how well he's been pitching. Warren has been pitching extremely well, right? So we're doing this without arguably our two aces, right? And it's just a good feeling right now to have. So it's had me locked in. You guys know I haven't really been talking about the Yankees in a while. I'm Sam more so than Branden. I know we've talked off before you were on the podcast, Branden, but I'm talking about going back to the beginning. I was always talking about the farm system more than anything. And now it just feels good to see some of those guys come up and the moves that they made. And with all due respect, I said it off air, so I have to say it on air. The Yankees at the beginning of the season said they were going to run it back, and I laughed, and I said, that's dumb. Right now, I look like I'm dumb. So time will tell.
Yeah. Well, the old cliche, right? And an adage, you can never have enough pitching. And the Yanks, for the first time in a long time, have a ton of pitching and a ton of pitching depth, quality pitching depth, as you mentioned, Hayes. So and that's the most important thing. I mean, you got a couple more guys down the farm, too, with LeGrande. Sam, who's the guy I just picked up? I asked about this morning. Giovanni Cruz. Another guy that throws 102. So there are spot starter options. You can slide those guys into the bullpen too.
There you go.
So it's still early May, but so far so good, and I'm excited for the rest of the season here.
Yeah, I mean, look at Phil Hughes when he came up. We won a World Series, right? Just being that 2-inning reliever. I could see LeGrande, Rodriguez, or even Luis Hill doing that. And another not Yankee thing is George Lombard's in AAA. He's 20 years old.
Yes,
I'm looking up right now. I'm trying to see because Volpe's been in AAA rehabbing. Who's going to play? I imagine I'd put Lombard at third and just see what's going on there. Because by July at this point, I mean, you're in AAA. You're one step. You're one call away.
Yep.
So
yeah, I read a report. I don't know if it was they quoted a major league exec or a scout. They predicted that Lombard would be in the majors by the second half of the season. So we'll see. The glove is ready. His baseball acumen is major league ready. So it's just all about the bat.
He's played 15 games. Yeah, he's started 11 out of 15 games at short. And I'm looking up Volpe right now. I'm sure you
see something.
Well, you guys are looking that up too.
How old is Lombard Jr.?
20.
I think he's 20. This is great radio, great podcast.
What were you going to say, Branden?
No, it's fine.
I said, for as much flack and heat as Cashman gets, and deservedly so in certain scenarios, I don't think he's ever lost a trade. You see these moves. Ryan Weathers trade, that looks like a steal right now for the guys that we gave up to get him. We've talked about Jose Caballero quite a bit on the pod as well as in our group chat. He has never lost a trade that I can think of. Like any of these prospects he's moved off of and gotten rid of, I can't think of any that have blown up or become superstars. Same mentioned Carlos Tavares. Yeah, he's a good defensive catcher. Had a really good season last year for the Red Sox, but we get a stellar arm in return, which in my opinion is more valuable. But yeah, it's hard to dispute Cash's track record when it comes to trades.
I remember, I believe it was on this podcast when I was talking and how hyped I was about Lamar Jr. and hearing how young he was and giving him time. Again, Jeter came up when he was 20 years old as well. So I'm not saying it's history repeating itself, but I wouldn't be mad at it. And I wouldn't be mad if it turned out to go really, really well. But yeah, I hope they bring the showman up sooner than later. I know McMahon has turned it around a little bit, and he hit a ball the other day. It was like 108 miles per hour. I was like, oh, good on you. Yeah, he's kind of turned it around, but again, I know he's not the future. So if you can get this young guy that can be another spark plug, then do it and give him some time to go out there. But again, there's no need to rush. Let's obviously, as we all know, let's just see what his bat does in AAA, and then if it's good enough and he just comes out hot, bring his ass up. Let's not even wait. Let's just do it.
And to your point about running it back, I think we've mentioned this maybe during the off season, but it was a great trade deadline. It really was. Bednar, I know he's had his moments, and it hasn't been great. And Duvall too. He can either hit 102 on the corner or he's hanging something and it's gone. But not much was given up for those guys. You mentioned Caballero, that same trade deadline for Everson Pereira, and you're like, oh no, the Rays can figure this guy out, and the Rays did it. He's not on the Rays anymore. So it's like, there's just been I've mentioned like Didi in the past, Luke Voigt, just some great trades that has happened. So
Clay Holmes.
Yeah, we'll see. Clay Holmes, yeah. So sky's the limit there. The team's looking good.
Well, I know a team that's fallen out of the sky.
I love it.
A couple of them. They just so happen to be, I guess, our rivals somehow, some way. But the Mets and the good old Red Sox.
I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. When we were doing our preseason, preview, and we were talking about the Mets, and this, you didn't need a crystal ball to see this happening, right? I mean, I think I mentioned it before. You got Jorge Polanco playing out of position. You got Bo Bichette playing out of position. Mm-hmm. You got Luis Robert, who is a fantastic player, but the guy can't stay healthy. And here he is back on the IL. and their pitching staff is atrocious. It's amazing, and then for them to take for them to watch the Yankees in the same city last year, to watch their closer and setup man last year just completely crumble in big moments. Yes, Devin Williams did okay second half, but to say I want that in the back end of my bullpen,
Give me
that same duo, and expect a different result is just insanity. And here you go, Devin Williams, atrocious.
This has to be Cohen's obsession with the Yankees, like somehow.
Yeah,
some way.
Carlos
I
Mendoza was our bench coach.
Right.
Yeah,
It's all over. It's very interesting. It's like
absolutely amazing. I mean, you have to assume Mendoza's next. His head's on the chopping block pretty soon. I love it. It's just like I said, you didn't need a crystal ball to see this coming, and it is just blowing up right in front of our eyes. And yeah, that's great. They deserve it. They deserve it. Maybe bring Grimace back.
I don't know if that's going to help them.
I said this on the pod when Soto left. It's like just enjoy Flushing in August and September, my friend. But he's a truly special player and would want him on our team. But we have a pretty good number 22 too. But yeah, I was fine without what Bo Bichette got, even though it's a small deal. Jorge Polanco out of position there, and aside from before Freddie Peralta, your ace was what? Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas, and what's it? Clay Holmes.
Yeah.
So it's like woof. And then your point about Devin Williams, it's not lost on me that the reason Devin Williams is probably broken is because of Pete Alonso.
Right.
Who finally woke up this past weekend at the mercy of the Yankees. But fortunately we won that series. But yeah, it's a tough time there. My brother asked me over the weekend why Carlos Mendoza hasn't gotten canned yet. And I just would speculate that probably just a sign of like it's a white flag in a way. Or that, but like, I don't know. David Stearns is a really good baseball guy. He ran the Brewers. They somehow get better every year, the Brewers, even though they lose their best player every year, whether it was Corbin Burns or Freddie Peralta this past offseason. They always figure it out, and they're still run very well. But it just shows you, like, you could have a lot of money. It doesn't mean
nothing.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
Sometimes it works. The guy who ran the Rays forever runs the Dodgers now. That works, but doesn't always work out this way. I mean, we lived through it with the Jared Wrights and Pavanos, and I know I mentioned that. And Branden, you're gonna slap me from the last time I mentioned that.
Never ever mention his name on this podcast again.
But yeah, no, and on the flip there, we see like I made this reference before. I have no idea what the hell's going on in Boston.
Yeah.
Because I hate the Red Sox. I don't care about the Mets. Like I make this analogy a lot, and Branden, I'm sure you understand this. As a Giants fan, you don't think about the Jets ever. And I'm not one like, oh, the Giants suck, but like we're not in you have all these titles and all this, like you're not thinking about the New York Jets. I as a Yankee fan, and this could be like obnoxious, the Mets are just, they're there when they're hot and they, it's great. Like we run the city, cool, whatever, who cares? But the Red Sox I don't like the Red Sox. None of us like the Red Sox. And Alex Cora can come off as like a jerk, but everything I have read, like he should not have been canned here. No. Like there's some kind of disconnect, and it's just unfortunate because I think he's a really good baseball mind. He's won some titles there, but I have any speculation what's going on over there because they cleaned house.
I mean, he was definitely the fall guy, right? Or one of the several fall guys, I guess, with Jason Varitek getting the boot as well. But I mean, it's so Breslow in Boston. and Stearns in New York, I don't know. I just got to be criticism going their way. I mean, they constructed these teams during the offseason, and this is the result so far. With Breslow in Boston, you went out and signed Ranger Suarez. Great. I didn't really, and brought in Sonny Gray. Both are hurt. Crochet's hurt. So some bad luck there with injuries, but did not address the lackluster offense. Like, that lineup is just atrocious. A lot of young talent there, but they have not been good offensively.
Did you say poop?
Yeah, I said poop.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know, but both teams are in pretty bad shape right now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
This Breslow thing, like, the optics aren't great, man. You alienate at your best player at the time. You saw Rafi Devers, who's fallen off a cliff, by the way. I don't know if you've seen his StatCast page or Savant page.
Yep.
He's having a time out in San Francisco, but regardless, like, you alienate your best player, you bring in Alex Bregman, who is a clear upgrade at third base and a very good hitter, especially in that ballpark. Yeah. And then you let him walk after you trade Devers for 40 cents on the dollar. Every asset that you pretty much got there is gone and/or has been thriving elsewhere. James Tibbs is a name you're going to hear very soon. An outfield prospect you're going to hear very soon. Kyle Harrison's pitching pretty well for the Brewers. It's been a mess there. And then Ranger Suarez and Sonny Gray, Dustin. You trade all. Well, Dustin May was for Tibbs, right? I think. Regardless, whatever. There's a lot of questions there and a lot of interesting comments. I think it ended up being. I think it was confirmed that it was Josh Beckett said this. He texted a reporter and said it regarding the firing of Alex Cora. You know where I'm going with this? It's like shitting your pants and changing your shirt. And I can't stop laughing thinking about that quote lately because it kind of, I get it.
Spot on. They're shitting their pants, all right. Speaking of poop, no doubt about that.
Oh, well, you guys got Scooble to talk about as well, too.
Oh, yeah. Trey Scooble's hurt.
Yep.
It's a bummer. He's got loose bodies in his elbow, which I would have to just guess like every pitcher probably has something going on in their elbow. But this is a bummer. You know, his contract year, he's been publicly feuding with his team regarding arbitration and an extension. They were hundreds of millions of dollars apart on an extension there. And I don't know where the Tigers are in the standings now. I don't really look at the standings this early in the season, but I know they were going through it a little bit. And he's the best pitcher, one of the best pitchers on the planet. And he's going to be out for up to 3 months, and the trade deadline's in 3 months. So that sucks. Mm-hmm. But hopefully he can get healthy because he is, back-to-back Cy Young winner. He's a special guy.
Yep. Yeah, Tigers are tied with the Guardians for first in the AL Central. AL Central again, just gonna be a tight race, especially with Scooble out. Tough week in the MLB for injuries. Crochet, Ronald Acuna Jr., Joe Ryan. We mentioned Ranger Suarez, Gleyber Torres. So a lot of big names going down. Yeah. Play day. Yeah. What do you got, Hayes?
Thinking about your best Gleyber Torres takes.
Got no comment. Nothing for Gleyber. I just, it sucks that Scooble went back for the World Baseball Classic, that he left early, and only to have this happen now, still with the negotiations and whatnot. So, if hindsight was 2020, we could have just had you pitch a little bit more too. But not great to see. Very curious. Let me ask you guys your opinion, and I want to, before we go in there, don't nerd out too much. But what is your thoughts on what this is going to mean for him moving forward with his contract negotiation, and where do you ultimately think this puts him?
I think it depends what happens when he comes back. If he is truly only out for a couple months and he comes back and looks like, the Scooble of old, I don't think it's going to really impact him too much. He's going to get a big contract regardless. If this turns into Tommy John, that could be a different story. So, yeah, I think it all depends on, what this turns out to be and then how he looks when he does come back eventually.
Yeah, Scott Boras is his agent, so he's going to get him his money. Not, don't know where. Would it be crazy if he comes back healthy? Assuming he's healthy, could he sign some ridiculous deal like Bo Bichette, Kyle Tucker, and like this short deal that has just an astronomical AAV? That could work. Yeah, no, but he's had. I don't think he's had elbow problems before. I think it was shoulder surgery or shoulder issues in the past, like before he like really broke out, and he was kind of just a high-end prospect that just could never put it together, and then he finally was healthy and again back-to-back Cy Young. So yeah, again, if he comes back and it's past the deadline and he pitches well enough, I'm sure he's gonna get some money somewhere.
So just real quick, too, before we move off this. So Scooble did have Tommy John.
Oh, he did.
Okay. Way back when he was in college. So that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Hoping he can get his money and can stay healthy.
The success rate on the second one is pretty low. So that could impact things if it does turn into TJ again. So yeah, hopefully for his sake and the Tigers' sake, it's just this loose bodies, and he's back in 2 months.
I think Hunter Green of the Reds had the same prognosis before the season started, and I think he just started ramping up or like starting his spring training over again or whatever, the ramp up process. So we'll see.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm definitely getting off the subject, so I'm saying go ahead if you have to. Okay. Well, speaking of ramping up, ladies, if there's any ladies listening to this podcast, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Because we're ramping up for football already. So it is, I know some of you don't, the guys give you breaks and whatnot. I know my lady is very, very happy, but when she watched me watch the draft, she said, I thought football was over. I said it was.
Oh,
and it's
honey.
getting started again. So just get prepared. So the draft happened. We didn't have an opportunity to really, really dive in the way that we wanted to about this. So, gentlemen, I think the best way to do this, I know obviously we did our live stream, which if you haven't watched, please go and do. But to fully cap the draft, I would love to hear what you both think of your draft picks, or even a team that you feel did well. But I really would love to hear what you guys feel about your team first, because I think all three of our teams had great drafts. One particular team that I'll just mention and get out of the way that had a phenomenal draft, in my opinion, is the Eagles' rival, which would be the Cowboys, the team that everybody loves to hate. They had a really, really good draft, and we've said it on this podcast before, they draft well. They have been drafting well for the past few years anyway, which is, as much as we think Jerry is a kook, it kind of plays out well for them in that sense. But with that being said, whichever one of you would like to go to talk about your team, I'm just going to wait till it's my turn to speak. But go ahead.
Okay. Jets ended up with 3 first-round picks. They traded back into the first round. I'm a fan of what they did. I mean, you could see it in real time when we were chatting through it. But look, there wasn't a quarterback to get at number 2. Next year's draft, by all accounts, is going to be loaded from Dante Moore to CJ Carr, Notre Dame, and Arch Manning, whatever. A laundry list of stud quarterbacks. Will it all pan out? I don't know. I mean, Joe Burrow came up out of nowhere. Jaden Daniels came up out of nowhere. And out of nowhere, I mean like ascended to the best quarterback in the nation. So Mendoza was there too. I mean, he was a day 2 or 3 pick before this past season. So, anything could happen. But I like what the Jets did. You take the best player or, biggest position of need. Really the whole roster is a position of need. And I think that's, I like what we did here. Take David Bailey, and then you shore up the offense here with Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon, and then Omar Cooper wide out to go on the other side of Garrett Wilson here. So, and some picks later in the downs, the safety I really like. Shored up the offensive line. I 3 number 1 picks next year in a draft where we're going to need to go get our quarterback, and I just like the foundation that we're kind of resetting for what feels like the 4th time in 20 years. But it's incremental steps here, and I'm glad we didn't do something drastic and just kind of stuck to a plan, and it looks pretty good.
Go ahead, Branden.
I was going to say, yeah, I think you guys did a good job of, resisting the urge to reach for a quarterback. Obviously, that being probably the primary need for you guys. But you're setting whoever that quarterback ends up being, whether it's to next year's draft or whatever, up for success, right? You got to get him a couple weapons in the first round. You're getting, shoring up your defense. So yeah, I liked what you guys did. I think both New York teams had really great drafts for a change.
I should just transition because that was kind of perfect. But
thank
you. Kenyon is the tight end that I wanted in the draft. I will, and if you talk about the tight end that we got, that I'm very, very happy about anyway.
I like Stowers. I'd be happy.
Sir, I said we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Kenyon Sadiq, thank you. Jesus.
Yep. Put a pin in that.
Kenyon Sadiq.
Look at this, guys. I'm giving Hayes and the Eagles their flowers, and again, I get yelled at.
You can give their flowers in due time. I'm talking about your team right now, sir. I'm giving your team the respect.
I understand.
Don't step on me giving your team respect, okay, sir?
Gotcha.
Kenyon Sadiq, phenomenal tight end. They're now building pieces offensively. Again, who's throwing the ball to them? Yeah, I don't know, but as Branden said, you're setting the team up for the future for what it's going to be. David Bailey, you didn't reach. You got the players where you should get them at that point in time. I'm just very, very intrigued. I'm also who is the D tackle, Daryl Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Excited to see what he does for you guys as well too. So solid. Filled some holes. Amari Cooper Jr. I mean, you have him now opposite, right? Omar Cooper Jr. You have an opposite. You have somebody to put in the slot. I think you can space it out. Again, the problem is who's throwing the ball. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what it will be. But I'm very, very intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued to see what they do from there. But this draft wasn't the same old Jets. You know what I mean? This draft was, they fought this out and they didn't reach and they didn't do too much. And they can kick the can a little bit down the street, which is next year, and really kind of lock in and see what they do from there. So very, very intrigued to see what they do from this point forward.
Yeah, I mean, they set up a pretty good team this last rebuild. They just didn't nail the quarterback position, and then Rodgers got hurt. Again, a lot of other things happened and
for sure
it fell apart. But they've Joe Douglas drafted very well and just didn't quite work out when you miss on the quarterback, as both of you guys can can attest to as being in there. I think I said Downs. I meant D'Angelo Pons, the defensive back from Indiana. I don't know much about him. I just know he's a really tough. He's just a tough cover and hits pretty hard. So again, we could use some help back there. I don't know if you guys know the Jets didn't record an interception this past year. So
didn't know that.
Okay, just in case you didn't, now you do. Yeah, but
I did know that. You don't. I don't want to kick you while you're down, sir.
It's
but
fine.
I know you've already.
Dude, it's
I figured. But enough, Sam, of us talking about your team. Let's talk about the other New York team and give Branden the floor to talk about his New York Football Giants.
Appreciate it. Yeah, well, here's like you were saying, like we watched it together and the reactions in real time, but surprised. I did not expect Arvell Reese to be the guy at 5. I feel like everything that I read leading up to the draft, it was Downs or it was Tyson, or maybe Jeremiah Love if he slipped. But I'm pleased with it for sure. Yeah, I can't knock the pick. I think.
Yeah.
We also commented when we were watching it together how quickly they got the pick in. Like, oh wow, all right, Reese is there. We're grabbing him. So yeah, you can never have too many. Just like in baseball, you can't have too many pitchers. In football, you can't have too many edge rushers or guys that can rush the quarterback. I think they're going to play Reese at off ball, like a weak side linebacker, which I'm excited about as well. I'm sure they're going to come up with some packages to have him rush the QB as well. But I'm excited about it. It's another weapon on the defense. A lot of analysts and scouting publications had him as the top prospect going into the draft. So I like it, and I get the value that they saw him there at 5, and they said that's our pick. Maui Noah, the offensive lineman from Miami. Thank you. Yeah. Another surprising move. With Caleb Downs sitting there, we thought for sure. There you go.
For sure,
going to double dip, really strengthen that secondary. But I can't knock this move either. Again, he by many publications, he was the top offensive lineman in the draft, and you can never knock a pick that is going to protect your franchise quarterback, right? And to help your franchise quarterback. We saw how many times Dart got hit hard last year and had to go into the blue tent. Hayes, you and I were there in person for one.
Yep.
So this is a great move. Again, protecting Dart. They're probably going to kick him inside to guard. So I like that move as well. And I thought Colton Hood, obviously I'm a little biased with first name, but I thought that was also a good move. Our corners have been atrocious for like our corners have been awful for like a decade. And then, I think they got really good value there as well. So yeah, I liked the draft. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on the Giants haul there.
First off, F the Giants, F you. No. Arvell Reese, definitely phenomenal. I always love when, if it was my team, I would love when a guy that you want falls in your lap and is arguably one of the best players, and you didn't have to really do much, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, you guys had a higher pick because of how the season went, but this, again, as you said, you're adding another edge rusher. I still believe this means Thibodeau is probably gone somehow, some way, or they just keep him as a rotation guy. But I'm curious to see how that plays out because there's still a lot of moves that could be made, as we know, we'll be talked about soon. But we've talked about this, Branden, on this podcast, off this podcast, about how this offensive line has been essentially Swiss cheese since Coughlin was there, right? And to shore that up and give this guy protection to basically say, hey, listen, you see all those big guys in front of you? Stay behind them. We don't need you to run out there unless we really need you to go get those yards. Stay behind there. Use your arm. We know you can throw the ball. We know use your mobility to if you have to move the pocket, everyone do what you got to do, right? but you have protection, and we're getting you protection to make sure that you have a clean pocket so you have time to carve teams up. That is always the biggest thing, is having that protection. And it's the right thing to do. I know in years past, they've tried to shore up the offensive line, and it hasn't necessarily worked. Maybe one piece out of one or two pieces out of there, right? To that did work out, but not so much. But it's clear that the Giants are saying, "Hey, listen, we need to give our guy some time. We need to protect our guy. He's what we see as our quarterback of the future. So let's put the pieces in play." They have the wide receiver already. They have the tight end already. Like let's do this now to kind of shore it up, and you have the running back as well. If they all can stay healthy, you're in pretty good damn shape. Yeah. So I think that's this is a solid draft for you guys for sure. I still just can't believe that they just said they didn't get Downs. Like, I just can't believe Downs with the Cowboys. It still irks me.
Yeah.
It still irks me.
This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because we're unfortunately get a chance to see him twice a year, Hayes, in the NFC East. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. It'll obviously be, critiqued over the next several years, should they have went with Downs. It'll be interesting too, Sam, with the Jets, not taking Arbel Reset too,
Yeah.
So, but that's usually how it goes. Hindsight's 2020. Yeah. And I think, like I mentioned to you guys too, when we were watching live together, like, it's not the sexy pick taking an offensive lineman that high in the draft, or even a linebacker that high in the draft, but that's how you win games, right? Games are won and lost in the trenches. The Giants have gone for the flashy, sexy pick in OBJ or with Saquon, rather than going with Zach Martin or Aaron Donald. And yes, both OBJ and Saquon are phenomenal players. Saquon probably going to be a Hall of Famer, but you look back in hindsight, should they have built out the trenches a little bit more? Would that have helped at all? So I'm glad they went with those two picks there, and just hope they pan out.
Malachi Fields too. Wandell left right to Tennessee, so got some room in that wide receiver room. So out of Notre Dame, kick and fly. So
they traded up for him back into the third round. He's 6'4", so we haven't had the big receiver in quite some time that could really do anything. So it'll be good to have him on the outside. So overall, I think it was a good draft. We'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into Thibodeau and Evan Neal part 2. That was the last time they drafted a offensive lineman and an edge rusher in the top end of the first round. So we'll see. Hopefully, better results this time.
Yeah.
Hayes?
Did you see the phone? I'm sure you saw the phone call. They released the phone call of Howie on the phone with
I saw it.
What's his name? Lemon.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Eli Stowers too. Howie's a freaking genius, man. It's kind of like he's just got the whole league like you Jedi mind tricked.
I can honestly say that Howie Roseman is a Hall of Famer, and I don't think anybody really from any team will bat an eye, because anytime I see on social media when Howie does a move, it's how does he still do this? Why are people still trading with him? Right. And it's refreshing for me because obviously I'm a fan, but I also remember when certain moves weren't made. Right. I also remember the Howie moves that were made, like JJ on the Vikings, who is arguably one of the best wide receivers in the league. And they got JJ Arcega-Whiteside instead of him. So there's still moments that I still don't forgive him for. But since then, I mean, there's been several Super Bowls, and, I'm very, very happy of what has come from that. But Howie has done his thing. I mean, I didn't get to see the second day really, or really most of the third day, but I had messaged the chat and saw the Jonathan Grenard trade, and I said, "Oh, okay." So it happened. This rumor happened. So I'm very, very happy about that. They acquired him in a 2026 7th-round pick. And then they sent to Minnesota their 2026 3rd-round pick and a 2027 3rd-round pick. Like, yes, high-value picks. 3rd round is definitely where you get some of the future pieces for sure. But then the Eagles went on and signed Grenard for a 4-year, $100 million extension for $50 million guaranteed. So it shores up that defensive line. Obviously, what's his name going to the Panthers? Is filling the void for that. So I'm very, very happy that move happened. But I did not see Mekhi Lemon ending up on the Eagles. I did not see that happening. There's no way that I thought they were going to trade. Right. He didn't see it until he did see it. He was just like, wait, let's see if we can do something. And let alone to do it again was trading with the Cowboys. The last time they did that, do you know who they got?
With the Cowboys? No.
Devonta Smith.
Oh, right. I knew that.
So,
I've heard of him.
This is pretty much the writing on the wall that everybody kind of knows at this point in time, which I'm sure I'm going to be asked over and over again. It's the most the unkept secret at this point in time. The
AJ Brown.
Yes, AJ Brown being potentially gone is pretty much what everybody's saying at this point in time, a handshake deal. I honestly believe because they won a first-round pick for him, they wanted 2. I honestly feel that their offensive lineman that they drafted will be coming to the Eagles in that trade. But there's been a rumor that has been started up at this point in time, and again, it's still a rumor, is a particular corner that plays for the Patriots that just so happened to be at Devontae Smith's softball game this weekend. I would love if he came there, but I think that's a stretch. But that is what it is. But also to get Eli Stowers was big, in my opinion. So you got the replacement for Dallas Goedert. He came back for 1 year. You have the guy that you have the arguably the best wide receiver in college football for winning the Blishnikov Award, and then Stowers winning the tight end award, which I don't remember what it is. So arguably the 2 best in their positions offensively. Very, very happy about that. But I will tell you guys my favorite pick, if he can turn out to be something, it's Uar Bernard. I don't know if you've seen this guy's measurables. He is 6'4", and he's 306 pounds. His 40-yard dash was in the low 4.6 range.
Yes.
Do you know who his player comp is? Myles Garrett.
I was going to say it's someone big and fast.
Yes. Now, obviously, comparing somebody to Myles Garrett is a stretch because this guy, especially this guy, he has never played football. That's why this is the biggest stretch here. The potential upside,
sure,
great. Saying his name, Myles Garrett, let's pump the brakes. Way too early. I know I've seen the reports and stuff like that. This guy hasn't tackled anybody outside of practice tackle or whatever the case may be.
Wait, he's never played football at all?
No, he's from the International Player Path program. So no, he does not play football. Did he play rugby? I think so. But he never really played anywhere else. But he's just an absolute monster of a man. I highly encourage you guys to check him out at the combine. It's just kind of ridiculous. His vertical jump was just shy of 40 inches. His broad jump was just under 11 feet. Yeah. So I'm hoping he could turn out to be something. But that's my kind of hidden gem that I really, really like and hope it turns out to be something. But that was probably my favorite pick outside of the Eli Stowers pick because I want a tight end for the future to continue to go from there. And the Eagles have done pretty well in the second round when it comes to tight end. Yeah. Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, hopefully Stowers. So
yeah, everything I read and heard about Stowers, I thought that was a phenomenal value there too. So not looking forward to seeing him.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, I remember last year when we did the NFL rundown and you guys asked me how I felt about what the Eagles season would be like. And I said it all depended on the offensive coordinator, brand new coordinator, right? And we saw how that turned out. So now with Sean Mannion, who is a highly touted and highly praised offensive mind, and the way that he moved his receivers around, how the Eagles were able to bring over Wicks as well, sneaky one, Hollywood Brown, that could take the top off of the offense to see what that happens there. I'm very curious of what this is going to look like. And again, even though I believe the writing's on the wall, what if A.J. Brown doesn't go anywhere? Could be very, very interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that's all I got.
Diana Rossini first with the story on A.J. Brown.
She's got other things to worry about. She's got other things to worry about, sir. It's crazy that there was a PI following them around, which is, I need to know more why. If that was,
still think it was you.
That. That's fair. That's fair. It might be. It might not be. I'll never tell. Sam, thoughts on the Eagles?
I mean, when you have depth, you can draft guys like Bernard, right? And just take the flyer there at late pick. But yeah, no, I love what you did. You mentioned Goddard is on a 1-year deal now, essentially, and Stowers set up to be the next tight end for the Eagles. Well, it's going to be hard to replace a guy like A.J. Brown, assuming that he's gone.
Of course.
But this team has figured out ways to win before. So, again, when you have depth, you can trade picks and move around and take advantage of the Lemon situation, right? Like guy falling. All right. So yeah, no, I love what the Eagles do, as I usually do, and yeah, no, I co-sign with all that.
I'm going to go on the record now.
Uh-oh.
I think that Jalen Hurts is going to have an MVP type season.
Right.
I'm not saying that to be biased. I know what he's looked like. I think the noise has gotten too loud, and when the noise really gets loud for him is when he's the most comfortable. And I think he's going to go scorched earth this year, and I'm hoping he shuts people up. I could obviously be very, very wrong, but I think he's got a lot to prove this year. And I don't mean like what some of these analysts are saying. Well, this is a prove it year for Jalen Hurts. The guy has won a Super Bowl and has been to 2 Super Bowls, more than some of the people that you praise above him. I would think it would be a prove it year for those guys that haven't made it to the Super Bowl more than him, respectfully speaking. He may not be the talents of a Josh Allen, right? He may not be the talents of a Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, so on and so forth, but he's won a Super Bowl, right? So I think that he earns some respect that way. I will never sit here and say that he's more talented than a Josh Allen, but I also will say that he is a winner and has won at every single level that he's been in, on top of having a new offensive coordinator since he's been in high school. So I don't think people realize how hard that is to actually do that. And the fact that even his own former coach, Lincoln Riley, has even said and pointed that out too. So I think this will be the year for him to prove something to the haters more than anything. I don't think he cares about proving it to anybody else. Honestly, I think he will have a phenomenal season this year, but and I mean that in all sincerity. I don't think he's going to be, it'll be better than some other people, but I still think he's going to be arguably in the top 5 this year when it comes to like power rankings for QBs throughout the season. This is my guesstimation, but I could be very, very wrong. I have no idea what this offense is going to look like.
I think that's fair. Top 5 doesn't seem like a stretch to me by any means.
Thank you. Some would say otherwise, but it's okay. We'll see. But yeah, gentlemen, is there anything else that we'd like to say on this podcast, or are we done here?
I'm looking forward to Harrison talking about the Ty Simpson pick. I'll let him do that. because I know he was fired up on draft night about it. I'm still fine with it. We can leave that for another day. I don't want to extend the podcast another 20 minutes.
Who do we believe Harrison is going to truly ride with this season? Because I know he's kind of said the Giants at this point in time, which Branden should be very scared of. But who do you think Harrison is going to actually land with this year? I feel like somehow, some way he's going to make his way to the Vikings because of his short king.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are still in the mix there for Harrison. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Russ. I feel like could be some movement there. Wherever Russ goes, Harry goes.
I think Harry's off the Russ train now.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. He still will love him for what he's done, but I think he's off the Russ train of wherever he goes now at this point in time.
I saw a video of Russ playing for the Savannah Bananas, and he looks like a train right now. Yeah.
Oh, does he? Oh, shit.
He's enjoying the offseason, man.
Yeah.
He knows he's most likely, he might get picked up. He'll probably get picked up halfway through the year, something like that. You know, we'll see. Yeah. See where it goes. Yeah. Also, since I wasn't here for the baseball preview, my rookie of the year pick is looking kind of good right now, I would say.
Who was it?
Murakami.
Yeah, that worked out so far. Yeah, he's a Southside Samurai, man. He's
absolutely.
Such a great, great nickname.
It is. Everything about is just he's got an aura around him right now.
Yeah.
Everything about him is just just it.
Yeah, there were a lot of questions like can he hit American, top speed velocity, and is there anything else other than home runs? I mean, he leads the league or is tied for the lead in home runs, but I haven't really dove into the other stats. But he's he looks pretty good.
So far, so good.
I would say so. Gentlemen, it's been great, but let's get the hell out of here. So far, his stats for the season: 223 average, 13 home runs, 26 RBIs, 27 hits. At this point,
on the White Sox.
Yep. RBIs, already said that. Base on the balls, 27. Strikeouts, 50. So
that's that's going to be
that's the drawback right there.
Yeah. Yep. Is he going to make enough contact, and is he going to, is it going to be a 3 true outcomes kind of guy? But
one can only tell.
We'll see. Yeah.
On that note, Sam, take us on out of here, sir.
Yeah, man. 206 in the books. So for Branden and Branden, I'm Sam. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you soon. And till then, peace.
You might as well just say BH squared at the end of it,
Oh.
It's just,
Okay. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Happy birthday, Spoony. Bye. Cinco de Mayo.